So, in our first video today, our first ed puzzle, we're going to be talking about solving proportions. And I know that in the past, you guys have probably seen one form of this or or another, but ultimately, the steps to cross multiplying, I mean, solving proportions, would be to cross multiply. So, if I have a fraction, right, if I have a over c equal to another fraction, c over d, a times d, right? We would multiply a times d and set it equal to, sorry, this should be b right there, and set it equal to b times c. Then we would just distribute and solve. The only other thing I'm going to be doing in this video is solving sample problems, and you'll have one problem at the end to solve yourself. I'll try and keep it fairly basic for you. So in the simplest of terms, if I had a problem, say 4/3 equals x over 6, right? When we went to solve that, we would have 4 times 6, which is 24, equal to 3 times x, which is 3x. And then we could just solve this problem for x by getting x by itself, isolating that variable. The only thing being done to x right here is that it's being multiplied by 3. So I could just divide both sides by 3, and I would get 8 equals x, right? And that would be our solution, right? What if we had 2 over 10 equals 4 plus 4 over n plus 5? When I go to cross multiply here, I could go, okay, well, there's 2 times n plus 5, that parentheses makes it multiplication, equals 4 times 10. And then we can go ahead and simplify and solve. Notice it says distribute if necessary. In this case, it is absolutely necessary that we distribute, right? We're going to go 2 times n, which is 2n, plus 2 times 5, which is 10, equals 40. And now we can start undoing everything that's being done to this n term, right? If we look at it, the first thing we can undo is this 10 that's being added to it. We'll just subtract 10 from both sides, and we wind up with 2n equals 30. And then we still have that 2 being multiplied to it. And so when we want to get rid of that, we're just going to divide everything by 2, and we wind up with n equals 15. That's not a box. It looks more like a coffin, but you get the picture. And for the most part, this is how they're all going to solve, right? Whenever we have a proportion, we can just cross multiply. So if I have y minus 3 over 2 equals y over 5, when I cross multiply, I get 2y equals, right, 2 times y equals 5 times y minus 3. And we're going to go ahead and distribute. We're going to have 2y equals 5y minus 15. And now we're going to get all our y's on both sides. Remember that last assignment we had variables on both sides of the equal sign, and we just have to move them over. Now I'm going to start by subtracting 5y from both sides because I personally like to have my variables on the left. Some people don't care, but I like them on the left. So this is going to give me negative 3y equals negative 15. And now all I have to do is get rid of that negative 3 that's being multiplied to the y. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. And I will get y equals 5. Right? Negative over negative equals a positive. And we are on the right track. I'm going to do one more problem, and that'll be the end of the video. You guys will do one on your own. I'll try and make it quite simple for you. This one, sometimes we're going to have to deal with binomials, right? This would be a binomial, 2k minus 3 is a binomial over another binomial, k plus 9, equal to 3 over 5. Common mistake that people make. Notice that there is an equal sign between these two fractions. This is one fraction equal to another fraction. You can solve when it's equal to. Some people will see a fraction added to a fraction or a fraction subtracted from a fraction, and they'll think they can still cross multiply to solve. Has to be an equal sign between them for it to work. So here, if I go 5 times 2k minus 3 equals 3 times k plus 9. And we're going to go ahead and distribute. We've got 5 times 2k. Well, that is 10k. 5 times negative 3. Well, that is negative 15 equals 3 times k, which is 3k. And 3 times 9, which is plus 27. And now all we have to do is solve for k. So again, I'm going to move this 3k over to the left. Why? Because I like my variables on the left. Can they be on the right? Absolutely. I just like mine on the left for some reason. Because at the end, I want to be able to say k equals instead of something equals k. It's just a personal preference. So here I have 7k minus 15 equals 27. And so we're going to start pulling everything off of this k value, right? So we're going to go plus 15, plus 15, and I will be left here with 7k equals, what's that, 42? And then the only thing left being done to that k is the 7 being multiplied to it. So I'm going to go ahead and divide by 7, and I will get k equals 6 for my solution. And so that's really all there is to proportions. The next video, the next Edpuzzle will be on absolute values. I'll try and keep it just as short, although that one takes a little bit more explaining. And make sure and ask if you have any questions.